Good morning, everyone. This is Darlene from Darlene's Creative Studio. Today is day 30, the last day of our Creative Journal Prompt Challenge. Today we will be working on adding some postage stamps and some rubber stamps. And because I've already created postage stamps in an earlier video, I'm actually going to be using one of these vintage letters that I purchased at an antique market. I'm going to play with one of these and see if we can do something with one of these letters, and then maybe stamp some rubber stamps in there as well, some postage stamps and that kind of thing. So today is day 30, the last day of our prompts. Tomorrow is the 31st, and I will be doing a flip through of the binder and just reviewing some of the prompts that we've done in our last video. And then if you leave a comment on tomorrow's video, I will be doing a draw and giving away that binder. So today is just going to be a really quick, simple prompt, hopefully. I say that and then 30 minutes later I'm still working on them. I'm just going to enter this really quickly into the book, and I will write in the book on the 31st, just writing that we're doing a flip through and going over our prompts. So we'll add this last one in. There we go. It's getting nice and plump. Move that guy out of the way. So what I thought I would work with today, I have this letter, and I've got some of my stickers. These are some of the newer stickers that I've purchased, and they're like letters and receipts and postcards, that type of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and work with this specific one, and I'm going to grab a piece of book page. It's kind of an old vintage one. It's got some nice coloring on it. I'm going to work with that, and what I'm going to do is create a floating pocket. Excuse me. And this letter is quite old, and I'm going to end up gluing this closed, but what I'm going to do first is add a little slot at the top here so that we can put a tag in it, and then I think with this paper I might create a little flip up or something like that. This might be the flip up. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work, but I'm going to play with some of the old book page. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our letter, and I'm going to add some kind of a label or something at the top, so when I create my slit, it will help. The envelope is so thin, I don't want it to bend the envelope. So I'm actually going to add something here, and I might do a little bit of background to this, and cut this down, and then maybe distress this little guy and add it to the top. So let's just clear some of the stuff away. All right, I grabbed some of this cardstock, and one of these were the insides, or this was one of my die cuts that I cut some little labels from. And I took a piece of this scrapbooking paper and I just cut it down, and all I did was put this label on top, kind of figured how much I wanted around it, and made a little pencil mark and cut it off, and then cut it off again. And then I took my corner rounder and rounded the corners. And then I'm going to, I did distress the edges of this guy. So that's going to go on there like that. And then I'm going to add this to the top. So let's glue this guy on. To this one. Okay, and then I'm going to add this to the top, and I don't want to take away from the tape, and I don't want to take away too much from that little name there. So I'm just going to add some glue to this, and we're going to add it to the top of this letter. Now I have not sealed the letter yet because we're going to cut the slot. I'm terrible about getting things straight. There we go. we're going to add the slot right through all of these layers. And sorry, we've just turned the heat on in this condo, and I find it very dry in here. And I know the other video I was clearing my throat every couple of minutes, so I have to have some water handy. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the envelope, and I'm going to, and again, it's an old envelope. It's from 1918, I believe, or 1908, excuse me. So I'm going to slide this little cutting mat in there. Nice and gently. I don't want to tear the envelope. Then we're going to grab a pencil. And I'm just going to eyeball kind of where I want it to be. And then I'm going to measure it out. I just want to eyeball it first. Okay, so let's say we want the first cut to be about there. So I'm going to slide my knife along there. Like that, and then we're going to move it down. And we only need about 1/8 of an inch for an opening. We're just sliding a little card in there, or a tag in there, so we don't really need it to be really, really wide. So I'm just going to keep cutting until I can feel the cutting mat underneath, like that. And then I just cut across the ends. There we go. And across the end of that one. I don't think I went quite to the end of that. There. And then we just pull this little guy out. Right there. All right, so there's my little piece cut out. And I'm going to take that guy out. And now I can seal this closed because I don't need to get in there again. My tag will actually be sliding right into the envelope like that. So let's seal this up. And I'm going to see if I can get all the little folds and bits and pieces out of here. Let's see if I can get all the little folds out. I guess I didn't need the glue there. There we go. Okay, so we've sealed the letter closed, and now it becomes a little pocket, like that. Now what I'm going to do is take some of my stickers here, and I really like this little guy. I like the coloring in this, and I just want to use up some of that space right there. So I'm going to add this sticker there. And I think I said before in one of my videos, I save the backing off of these stickers because it's acetate. You can see that. I save those, and then if I want to use those as a little window in something, so I have to set it somewhere where I can see it, because when I set it down on the surface of my pad here, it disappears. So I'm just going to set this little sticker on here. There we go. So that gives us a nice little image there. And I really like the way this is looking. I don't want to add too much more. I might grab some of my washi tape here. That looks like old tape. And maybe just add a little piece on the side here. Like that. There, that just gives it, pulls a little bit more in. And then I think I'm going to do something on the back. Because this is a floating pocket, I want to kind of make it, you know, go together. Now, I haven't decided what I want to do, if this is going to be a floating pocket, whether I want to, I've just taken one of the book pages, whether I want to make it so that it has like a little flip up on top, like that, or whether we want something maybe on the back that flips up because this is going to float around. This is just going to be a floating pocket that you'll put on with a paper clip. I kind of want to have a little extra spot there, and I don't probably need as much as this hanging off the back, so let's just trim this down. I'm trying to think of maybe we can add some paper so that this will flip up like this, like that. That's a hard decision. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this huge letter sticker, and I think I'm going to put that on there. So that'll be part of my, maybe up here, like that. So let's do that one, just to give it some pizzazz. And again, we'll keep that back part of the sticker. Straight, it'll be all right. There we go. And then we have this guy like this. And we probably have to glue him on there. And then I'll trim it down a bit. Okay, so let's do that. Oops. I didn't want to, I was going to have it on the front, but I really like the look of the front of the envelope, so I didn't want to have that on the front. So let's put this on the back, like that. And then now I'm going to trim this a little bit off the bottom, because before it was going to be on the front. And we really don't need it hanging off the back. There we go, so let's cut that off. So we've got this one, and then when you flip it up, it's got this little piece. So let's add some things to the back of this guy. Maybe something like that. And then I cut this off. This was an extra piece. And then maybe we could have this guy kind of, I'm trying to take away from that writing there. That's almost too big, isn't it? I'm going to put that on there and then bend the sticker. Take that one off. Oops. Let's stick to my sticker. So I'm just going to cover up that writing. And then that will be part of my bend. There we go. So that one's all done. And now to just decorate this little guy a bit. We can put this guy here. I'm just trying to make the envelope a little sturdier because it's so old, it's quite flimsy. So I'm going to cut this one off. We don't need all that excess there. There. So let's get rid of him. And then maybe add that guy, or maybe this one. I like this one, I think. And then I've also got this one, a little note. I just wanted to be able to see this. This is actually the stamp that says 1908, August 25th, 1908. So I wanted to kind of leave that. So let's use this guy. All right, I can get it off, and we'll save that little backing. So I'm going to put this one on a little bit of an angle. There we go. Like that, and I really want to use this little one too, so we can just put him randomly on somewhere. Like that. Actually, let's stamp one of these guys on here first. And I like to stamp these on a piece of paper just to see how dark they're going to be. That's not too bad. We have that one, and we have this one. Let's see what this one looks like. Yeah. So I can kind of put him somewhere on an angle like that, and then we'll have our postage stamp up there. Save the back. And I'm just going to put this guy on here, and again I want to put it where we had some of those, the envelope was peeling a little bit where it had been opened, just to kind of help it stay secure. So there, we got a little floaty envelope. And I'm just going to grab a paper clip. So this is, I'm going to make a floating. So this will be my book page. So you would actually take the envelope and just paper clip it in. And then let's create a quick tag here. This paper, which I really, really like, and I can use, just looking for my scrap bin, oh, put it over here, keep losing things. I have this piece of cardstock that has some writing on it. It looks like newspaper articles. I thought that would look really nice as a tag to go with the letter. So we need a tag that's going to be 2 1/4 inches wide. So let me cut this 2 1/4 inches wide. Okay. And what I'm going to do is grab my tag stamp, punch. And because even though this is a 2 1/2 and a 2 inch, I'm just going to center it in the 2 1/2 inch punch. Just slide it in there and center it right about there and punch it, and I'll still get a nice rounded edge. It just won't have those little wings that it normally has. So I've cut that out. And then I'm just going to decide how long I need this guy. So I'm going to put this in. Let me just take this paper clip off so it doesn't stop us from going all the way down that we need to. So we need it to be 4 1/2 inches. And then I want the tab to stick out the top like that. Maybe not as much. So maybe that amount. So we only need a, say, right there. Let me just give it a quick trim. Oops. I'm going to slide that in, see how it looks. There we go. Not bad. And then I'm just going to add some paper on the back and distress the back of this. And I'm really going to distress the top part of it a lot because that's going to be not covered in the paper. And we'll just do the edges. I think I'm going to round out these corners just so they don't get caught on things when it goes down into the envelope. So let's round it out a bit. And then we can add some lined paper to the back just to give it a little writing space. There. And to the bottom of that one there. Okay, so let me give this a quick trim. Okay, and we have to round out our corners of the bottom here. Oh, and it gets stuck, of course. Didn't like how thin the paper is, I guess. All right, I'm just going to trim that off. All right, and then that will go on there. So let's add our tag, our paper to our tag. So this has been a really long challenge. We've been here a month and doing a challenge every day, creating the video and then tweaking it and uploading it, and it's been a real learning curve, and it's taken up a lot of time while we were here, but I've really enjoyed it. And I will continue to do some tutorials, like working on books and stuff like that. I just won't be every day. Hopefully once a week or once every 2 weeks. There we go. And we're just going to distress the edges of this. And I have been working on a few little journals in between, not very many because this is really time consuming, but I have been playing with a couple of revamping a little book that I bought and creating another type of lap book journal. So I will be doing a video on those as well once I get those finished. And I was doing another challenge with Took's Craft Table and trying to do that in between, and it just kind of got put on hold, but that will get finished as well, and I will do a flip through for that. So there's our little tag, and what I'm going to do is to pull this in with the look of the envelope. I'm going to grab some of these reinforcement holes, and these I just create out of little scraps of the old book pages that I've cut off. I use this with my reinforcement hole puncher. You can use a small circle punch and then punch the centers out with a 1/4 inch punch and make your own reinforcement holes. But I do have an actual reinforcement hole punch, and I use that for all my scraps. When they're nice and weathered looking, the pages, I will punch my own holes. And let's put one on the back. I got all these little hearts in here too. I don't know why I have the little hearts in there, but and let's put this guy on the back. There. Oops. So we have that, and then we can add a little stamp to the bottom of this. Which one did I use? I used that one, so let's use this guy. Maybe we can put it up here, like that. And then this guy, we can add something to the front here as well. Where did I put my stamps? Thinking just something small, like one of these little guys. You can't see them very well because they're so dark. Ooh, how about our piece of tape? I also have this thing. He's too big. Come on. These ones give me the hardest time. I can never get this one off. There we go. Persistence. Get that one, and we can add some of this washi tape just to give it a little tie into the other. Squeeze the bottom here. Like that. There we go. And I have some of these smaller ones in here. Let's add that one on there. Actually, yeah, this one too. Kind of like that one. Yes, very frustrating, these stamps. There we go. Save that backing. I'm just going to make sure I didn't curl that under. There we go. And let's just throw this guy on here. There. And we've created a cute little tag that will slide right inside our, oops, thank you, honey. There we go. That just slides in like that. So we've made a little floating pocket that we can attach to our book page, a book page. Put all these little stamps away. There it is. And that can just go attached to the side of your book page like that. And you can pull your little tag in and out. You can write on the back side of this. You can write a little note on the back side of that. And there you go. So that was day 30 of our 30-day creative journal prompt challenge. Thank goodness. That was a long haul of doing something every day. I think it was more just creating the videos and then having to upload them. That's the hardest part. I love creating every day, and I probably could do something every day. I just don't record myself when I'm doing it. But it was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed the videos. Hope you can go back and review them for some ideas. And again, the prompts are there just to help you if you have a day where you just don't know what to make, or you don't know what to add to a part of your journal. If you're in the middle of making a journal and you've kind of gone blank, you don't know where to go. Just grab the list or make out your own little cards, and you can just kind of pull one. Now at the beginning of this whole journey, I was going to make this little carousel stand that I could put my prompts in, and I'm going to show it to you. It finally arrived in the mail yesterday, and this is a Kodak carousel. It's a slide tray for your film negatives, and I did get it like I say yesterday in the mail. I bid on it on eBay, and I was going to create, I have a couple of Lazy Susans, the wooden ones that you used to put in the center of your table and put your salt, pepper and stuff on them. I have a couple of extra ones that I use for when I was making sculptures and stuff. So I'm actually going to attach this base to one of the Lazy Susans so that I can turn it. And then it comes with this little case that locks the negatives in. Once you drop the negatives in, you put this in and it locks them in. But I'm going to take that off, and what I was going to do was take my prompts, and here are some of my prompts and my business cards, and I was going to put them in the slots like this. And then in the center, this is just something that we had, I think it was mashed potatoes, it was a little case. I was just going to find something that I could pop into the center, and then I could have extra little things in here like that. And then this would be on the Lazy Susan. And then when I'm working on my journals and I've kind of drawn a blank, I was just going to kind of spin my wheel and pick one of the prompts and work with that prompt during the day. So that was just one of the ideas I was going for. I could not find a carousel. I looked all over Canada and no one seemed to have any. And when I got here, I found one on eBay, and it was an auction, and I bid on it. Before I went to bed, I bid 99 cents. And the next morning I got a little email saying that I'd won the auction. I didn't even look to see when it was going to be over or anything. There was no bids on it, so I bid on it. I ended up getting it, but it did cost about $10 for them to ship it to me. So I did get this, but I really wanted to, and I think I'm going to vamp it up a little bit, maybe decorate the sides and that kind of thing, but I am going to attach it to Lazy Susan. And then what I can also use this for later is I can put my business cards in here. And when I'm at a show, I can take this with me and just have some little candies or something in the middle and have my business cards inside this carousel, and people can just grab my business cards from this carousel while I'm at a show. So this is something that I will use in the future for other things other than my prompt challenge, but I just thought that would be a really good idea to just fill this up, try and fill it up with a whole bunch of different prompts, maybe every other one, because I think there's over, I'm not quite sure how many there is in here. The number's on here somewhere. 80 slots here. I don't think I could come up with 80 prompts. Maybe I could, but you could almost do 40, do every other one, and then you'd have 40 prompts. And then it would just give you something to, you know, when you have a dry spell and you're not sure what you want to create in your journal that day, and something that you enjoy doing, like a floating pocket, you know, using junk mail, that kind of thing. It would just kind of help you in those moments when you're drawing a blank. Anyway, that's it for today. I just wanted to show you this. Like I say, it did come in the mail very late yesterday, but I did want to show you my idea of adding this. If you put this little tray back in, your business cards don't fit in. So you can't use this with the business cards, but you can find a little dish to just slide in there. And then I'm going to put on a Lazy Susan. So that's it for my Creative Journal Prompt Challenge. I hope you enjoyed the videos. Please watch for tomorrow. We're going to be doing a flip through of the binder, the final flip through, and we're going to go through all the prompts really quickly. And then, like I say, I'm going to, if you make a comment and you like the video, we'll put some little details in the bottom of the video, and then I will do a draw for that binder. So thanks again for watching, and we'll talk to you real soon.